Yeah. Janibek Alimkhanuly has another potential unification fight announcement. Before it was with Carlos Adames, that's who it's been for the last couple months, right? And then now it's with Erislandy Lara. And if you're anything like me, I'm just getting tired of hearing all these potential unification fights. Give us a good fight already. I'm not even blaming Janibek, but I just tired of hearing all this nonsense, right? Give me your real fight. However, I will say this though, this piqued my interest. They are rumored to fight in December. You know who also is rumored to fight in December? That would be Lamont Roach and Pitbull Cruz. Now, I don't know how you feel, if you're going to buy it or steal, but those two fights on the same card, that's a damn good deal.
Hello guys, this is Rolly Romero.
Yo, my name is Nonito Donaire. What's up guys, Designer's Eyes.
We're here with Bob Santos Boxing.
And I rock with Dr. Boxing Talk.
I want to give a quick shout out to Dr. Boxing Talk.
And I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Boxing Talk. Thank you for all the love, thank you for all the support.
You're rocking with Dr. Boxing Talk. Get your daily news from my man right here, the best in the business. Let's get it, baby.
All day, baby.
Amen.
Bam!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you'll say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? Welcome back to your favorite boxing news channel, Dr. Boxing Talk. We are back for another YouTube video. Banger, man. Yes, sir. Yes, man. I know what time it is. Doctor's in the house, man. So check this out. But before we get to it, let's go ahead and smack that like button. Let's do it together. Appreciate you. That helps us to keep going and growing on this YouTube platform. BTF, rise up. Because we have some interesting information in regards to Janibek Alimkhanuly. Yeah, you know, the middleweight WBO and IBF champion, right? He has another potential unification announcement. But hold on. This time it's not with the WBC champion Carlos Adames. It's with the WBA middleweight champion Erislandy Lara. Now, I think this is still a great fight. You know, any unification in all the boxing, I don't care if you talk about minimum weight, straw weight, or heavyweight. You see, I love the unifications because I respect the champions. I'm not saying all champions are created equal. Some are better than others. Some had an easier path relative to others. But I think that you being a champion should mean something, and for me it does mean something. So I love these unifications. I would prefer, ideally in a utopian society, I would prefer Adames versus Janibek, but that fight has fell through multiple times. And quite frankly, I'm getting tired of hearing about these two fighting each other, because I'm hearing more of them fight each other than I'm actually seeing evidence of them actually getting ready to fight each other. So I don't even care whose fault it is, whether it's Janibek's fault or Carlos Adames's fault. I don't care, man. I personally believe that if they pump fake with another pretend announcement between those two, they should go ahead and strip both of them.
No, did he?
You see what I'm saying? Janibek Alimkhanuly and Carlos Adames should be stripped. I'm just getting tired of it, man. But I do find this odd though, because now Janibek is teasing a potential unification matchup that will be officially announced soon, according to Janibek in this article, right? They're saying that, hey, they could fight in December, and I think that's a great fight. You see what I'm saying? But I just find it odd because just like Carlos Adames, Erislandy Lara is on PBC. So I don't really understand how that fight could happen when the other fight couldn't. You know, how are you going to get this fight with Erislandy Lara when you couldn't secure the fight with Carlos Adames? So I'm starting to think that it may be a little bit more than just a promotional issue, you know, with Janibek being on Top Rank and Carlos Adames and Erislandy Lara being on PBC. So if this fight could work out between those two, I wonder what the particulars are that made it seemingly impossible for Janibek and Adames to come to an agreement. But anyway, but that is, you know, that's not really relevant to this fight coming up in December, but it is relevant because that is why I'm skeptical of it actually happening. You see what I'm saying? But I hope it does happen. And even more so, I want it to happen because of the rumored fight that it could be paired with. Lamont Roach versus Pitbull Cruz. That's a great fight. You feel me? So that's rumored to be in December. And if they can make this a joint affair on the same card, man, that's a good card, man. I'm not going to lie. Not to mention what the potential undercard could be, you know, between that main and the co-main. So I think that's great. However, I will say this, though. A lot of people think that Janibek is the default best at 160-pound division. He's the most decorated, right? He's the one that has 2 titles, right? He's a unified champion. But the other 2 titles are split between Adames and Lara, right? But I want to say this, though, man. Janibek hasn't really fought anybody that's recognizable, and that's okay because Janibek's not really a big, high-profile guy either, but he's very good. And I personally think that he is the best at 160. Bullshit! 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 But I don't think it's a given that he just beats Erislandy Lara, because his last opponent was Namasenge, right? Ngamasenge. And then he fought like who? Like Stephen Butler and Alexander Vaughn, and you know, a lot of other guys, Andre Mikhailovich, who just aren't recognized. You see, they're not recognizable. But if you look at Erislandy Lara, you know, Erislandy Lara has 3 losses, But you could argue that out of those 3 losses that Erislandy Lara could have actually won, because 2 of those losses came by split decision and another one of those losses came by majority decision. So you could make a legitimate argument that Erislandy Lara could be undefeated. You see what I'm saying? Not to mention, outside of those 3 losses, he beat guys like Yuri Foreman. You see what I'm saying? He beat guys like Austin Trout, and I could go on and on. He has good quality wins on his record. You see what I'm saying? And those 3 losses, one of them came to one of my favorite fighters, Paul Williams, you know, who was paralyzed after a motorcycle accident. He lost to him by majority decision. And then the other guy he lost to was Cinnamon, aka Saul Canelo Alvarez, another one of my favorite fighters. And despite Canelo being my favorite fighter, y'all know that if you frequent this channel, I think that Erislandy Lara beat him. Oh, wow. When I watch a fight, I like a certain fighter more than I like another fighter, but I think the right person should win. And while I'm not mad at Canelo winning because it was a close fight, I personally thought that Erislandy Lara beat Canelo. So those are 2 of his losses, and his 3rd loss came to Jared Swift Hurd. Once again, that was by split decision. So Erislandy Lara is a good guy, man, and not to mention his most recent victory was against Danny Garcia. All the guys I just named, if Janibek fought them, they would undoubtedly be his best and highest level of opposition. Yeah. So Erislandy Lara, from an experience standpoint, he definitely has the higher caliber opponent. So that goes in his favor. You see what I'm saying? Now, I will say this, with the experience, also another part that's not really too favorable is the extra experience that he has, extra seasoning, is with his age. You know what I'm saying? Because he is 42 years old.
Damn. I'm sorry.
So that doesn't go in his favor, you know, but we just have to consider all these things. I do think that this is a great fight. It's not the best fight because ideally it would be Adames and Janibek, but Janibek and Lara is another great fight. So if this fight could actually come into fruition, I will be excited, but I'm trying to calm myself down because I still don't believe it until, you know, we get an official announcement. But this, coupled with Lamont Roach and Pitbull Cruz, another fight that I'm still a little shaky and suspicious about, not fully confident that one will come into fruition. But if that one comes into fruition too, then that's a great card, man. Not only are those 2 great fights separately by themselves, but if you could put them together, oh man, that's a great card, man. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Between Lamont Roach and Pitbull Cruz, I'm gonna be honest, man. Pitbull Cruz is one of my favorite fighters to watch. He's exciting. Whether he wins or loses, it's always an exciting fight just because of his style, you know. It's not the best. He's kind of one-dimensional, but he's very good at that one dimension. And in that one dimension, you know, it's a catalyst for excitement. You know, it excites the fight. You know, it excites the crowd. So, but with that being said, I think Lamont Roach could pick him apart and counter him. So I'm going with Lamont Roach. If this fight comes into fruition, I think Lamont Roach will come out on top. And Janibek and Lara, like I said, Lara has experience. I think he has a better chance than people will give him credit for. However, I would go with the youth in Janibek. You know, I think that Janibek might be able to overwhelm him, you know, as the fight goes on. But Erislandy Lara, if you watch him, you know that he's very skilled and he has some power that has came with him, and seemingly, I'm not gonna say came out of nowhere, but man, his power has definitely came. Remember, ask Michael Zarafa how he got him up out of there in 2 rounds. So, you know, his powers grew with him, and his counter punching ability is really his best asset. So, you know, don't think that he's just some scrub that could be overlooked. Absolutely not, man. Erislandy Lara is a beast. So but still, with that said, I would lean towards Janibek, but I think that fight's probably about 60-40, maybe not quite 60. Yeah, I would say 60-40 or 55-45, something like that in favor of Janibek. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that. I will let you know and give you a more definitive assessment once the fight gets closer, once it actually officially gets announced, and I actually believe it's gonna happen, man. But this is wonderful if it can come down and come into play in December, man. We'll see, good Lord willing, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Don't forget to smack that like button. Let me know who you think will win in those potential fights, and most importantly, remember, with God we can do anything. Without God we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.